Hello, a room full of people. This is directing for beginners. There's no PowerPoint, so in this video we will have it in post, so you guys can follow along with the PowerPoint I sent you through your email. And let's get started. All right, so show of hands. With all of you, how many of you have directed something already? Nice, we got a few. And how many of you want to direct? All right, we got a few more. So second slide. First off, don't do it. Do something else. It's too difficult. It's too expensive. It's too stressful. And the chances of you being successful at it are very, very slim. And here in the PowerPoint, you have a Buddhist temple guardian trying to scare you away, telling you to stay out. So I'll wait for all of you guys to take my advice, which is good advice, and leave the room. All right. Okay, third slide. You're gonna do it. You are fools. And here we have a picture of Sir Lancelot crossing the sword bridge. Fourth slide. All right, I guess I'll sort of tell you how to do it now. First off, I'm assuming you're poor. You probably are poor. If you're not poor, disregard every single thing I'm about to say. Just don't listen to anything except at the very end. But you're poor like me, so we gotta do this the hard way. I'll be giving you very general things about directing. At the end, I'll give you more specific things, and you'll see that a lot of directing is very much not directing. General things, you want to know all aspects of filmmaking. So you want to know lighting, you want to know sound, you want to know VFX. Literally, whatever is going to be in your film, you should know some of it. You don't have to be proficient in it. You don't have to have like your black belt in it. One, I've ran into this a few times. It's going to save you time in production because there's going to be a problem that pops up, which you've experienced before in that department. And you could, if no one else has fixed it, you could probably fix it immediately. You're like, oh no, we just do this, and then production keeps rolling. This would be so much easier if I had this up here. By knowing all aspects of filmmaking, you sort of have an idea in your edit and in your final product of what to do and what to look for. All right, and here's the most important part. Out of all aspects of filmmaking, directing is the most difficult, just because as the director, you are creating the film and you are responsible from beginning to end of the film. And so it's not like the studio system, because we're all poor and we're all independent, where like a studio will hire you out to just direct, and then every other aspect in terms of like costumes and props and VFX has like their separate departments. So you're just sort of intermingling with them a little. But here, because you are directing and creating your own story, you have to do everything. Everything. And also, if you know all aspects of filmmaking, you know how to talk to these people. Something I ran into that was a problem is I had zero knowledge of VFX. Zero. And my last film was VFX heavy. So I contracted this guy. I didn't know what the hell I was doing. I was just like, hey, I need this temple. Can you make it? And he was like, yes, this is the price. And I was like, okay, I think that's a good price. Here's the money. It was not a good price. It was too much money. And then at the end, he couldn't do everything. Just to kind of give you a little insight into that, building a digital asset like that is kind of like building a real house. Someone builds the house, the frame of the house. Someone builds the foundation. Someone paints it. Someone does the roof. So in VFX terms, you want to hire out different things like that. I just thought like, hey, you know this? He's like, yeah, I know this. Here's the money. Do it all. And it doesn't work that way. And now I know, right? So now when I'm contracting other VFX guys, I know exactly how to talk to them. And I know how they're not going to screw me now, because I know appropriate pricing for things. So yeah, make friends. you are going to have to have a team, network with people, try to get people together, work for free. This is the most important part. Do each other's projects for free, because one, we're poor and we can't pay for every single project we make, right? No one's gonna hire you to direct for a very long time, if they ever do. And the only way you get better at directing is by directing. So if you're poor, you can't pay for all these directing projects that you're making yourself. So then you have to just make projects that you can direct consistently over time. And really now, at this stage, you want quantity over quality, just because reps over time just makes you so much better. Oh yeah, and that was the last bullet: practice, practice, reps, reps, reps. Just, even if it sucks, just keep doing stuff. Keep doing stuff. Just churn it out. And here we have a picture on slide 3 of Shiva, whose dance is the universe. So his dance creates the universe, which is what you're trying to do. All right, slide 5. What to do on the business side. You want to direct. You want to create projects. You want to make art. That is 10% of directing. You are going to spend so little time doing the fun stuff. You're going to spend 90% of the time doing stuff you do not want to do. Most of me directing is doing things I do not want to do. So this is the business end of stuff. Because yes, you want to make projects, but if someone's going to invest in you, they have to be profitable. You have to prove that to them, which is, it's kind of dumb the way you prove that to them. So you're poor still. Don't quit your job. You're always going to need a steady flow of income from somewhere. And it's not going to come from filmmaking for a very long time. And money is always a problem in terms of production. There's never enough money. No matter how big the budget, no matter what you're doing, you could always use more money to make your project better. You'll find that over time, you're going to get bled out. So if you have no source of income, it's just not going to happen. So you should think of every film as you being the temporary CEO of a company, or a CEO of a temporary company, because you have to manage all of these things together multiple times, and each one is sort of like allocated within its own project. They don't, like, the skills transfer, but like the work doesn't really transfer, because each project is probably different. All the legal crap you got to do an LLC, you got to have people sign release forms, you got to get permits. So like all this paperwork you have to do on top of, oh, I want to make a project. Like, okay, here's this stack of papers you got to do before you make the project. Not fun. None of this is fun, honestly. I don't, some people enjoy this. Those people are weird. I don't get why. I do not enjoy this, but I have to do this. So you have to do social media. It's very gross. I hate social media. I've never liked social media, but now it is one of the most important aspects of filmmaking. Like, you have to do it. You cannot avoid it. And you can't just do it for one project. You have to do it forever for every project. Very annoying. Because I'm in the middle of a feature film right now. I went to other conferences and talked to other experienced filmmakers, and they pretty much, I knew that I had to do that for my first film. And then I thought, well, like, my first film does well, and then it gets my name out there. I don't have to really do this social media stuff anymore. And they were saying, like, no, you have to do it forever for every project. And I was like, all right, great. It's not what I wanted to do. There's going to come a point where you cannot afford to do whatever project you want. So you're going to have to start fundraising. And there's different avenues. There's grants. There's a lot of free grants. You have to submit like so many things about your project to them. You're probably not going to get any of those grants. Crowdfunding, like websites like Kickstarter, Seed and Spark. You could do that too. Or private investors. You could get private investors, which is typically friends and family. you're probably not going to get like a VC to come in and be like, yeah, let's do that. And another last source of fundraising is just do illegal stuff. You want to make your film, right? Steal money, whatever you have to do. That last one was a joke. All right, sixth slide. You're going to die. Not really, but yes, sort of. And we have a picture of Beowulf after he fought the dragon and is dying from its poison. So what do I mean by that? This is true for all very difficult things. The person that you are when you start it and the person that you are when you finish it are two different people. Very difficult things will test you in ways you did not expect. And you will have to learn skills that you probably didn't know you had to learn in order to accomplish this very difficult thing. So the guy that you are initially is totally different from the guy that you are at the end, which is cool, but it's very tedious and painful and expensive. Next slide. This is you, and that's Sisyphus pushing the rock up the mountain. Get used to that, because directing is, honestly, with all things taken into account, practically impossible. You have to do so many things. You have to be decently proficient in so many skills. You have to get all these people together. You have to find a way to fund the movie. I mean, firstly, you have to have the creative idea to make the thing. And then at the end, you could have all of those things and then at the end still have a bad product. Like, you've seen multi-million-dollar flops. Like, how did that happen? It happens. All right, slide 8. Now we're going to talk about actual directing stuff, not just like concepts. As a director, you want to know your characters inside and out. Generally, the director is the writer of the script, so they already know this. But some directors exclusively use other people's scripts. So you just really have to know the script inside and out, and the crew more or less inside and out. You have to know all aspects of everything to have. You don't have to, but if you want the best product at the end, you have to. A lot of times directors get very micromanagery. They want something very specific, and I don't think that's the best way to create art. What I like to do is I give an actor the script and I kind of give them general attributes of the character, and then I just let them do whatever they want. And then once we start actually shooting and I see what they're doing, I could refine it. But a lot of times they make the character better on their own without me like trying to like make sure they follow a very strict guideline. Or sometimes they get the character wrong, but they did something that was very unique and like really cool. And I'm like, okay, it's not right, but this little thing you did, we're going to incorporate that into what the character's supposed to be. And now it makes the original character even better. But once you get a group of people and they're all working together, it's fun. People have fun. You're having fun, because this is the best aspect of filmmaking, the creative stuff. You're not dealing with all this paperwork and all this other stuff you don't want to do. Sometimes it can be too fun and everyone's like just too cheery and too playful on set. You just kind of have to like wrangle everybody and be like, all right, yes, this is awesome. Yes, we're doing it, but like we gotta get focused and we gotta finish this thing right now. Another thing that's a little secret sauce is as you're directing, you're seeing everything unfold. You're having takes, right? Some takes are better than others. So those takes that are better than others, you want to write down like, oh, scene 1, take 5, that one, something happened that really caught my eye. So that way, when you get back to editing, you're not like, oh man, there was this one take that was really good. Which one was it? So now you have to sort through all the footage to find that take again. But if you write it down right off the bat, you're like, oh yeah, scene 1, take 5, that one, and then that's the one you plug in. So it just saves time on editing. And to wrap it up, slide 9, more conceptual stuff. All right, so you're going to feel bad, but good, but terrible, but great. What do I mean by that? There are moments where I feel like, oh, holy shit, I'm doing it. I'm doing the thing that I want to do. Nothing can stop me. I'm on top of the mountain. The sky's the limit, whatever. I feel like an ancient Greek hero, right? Just unstoppable machine. Yet there are other days where I'm like, what the hell am I doing? Why did I do this? I could have done so many other things that would have paid more money, would have been less stressful. I could have had a house by now and like a family. Instead, I'm single and I live with my mom. What the hell's wrong with me? It's going to be up and down, and this is totally normal. Totally normal. That's just part of the game. And this game is for the brave. You have to have something wrong with you to want to do this, because it's like, why would you do this? A bad movie is better than no movie. You made something. There was nothing. Like Shiva, you danced and created the universe, and then you made something. Something is better than nothing. I forget where I heard this. Anything worth doing is worth doing poorly. So just do it. Good or bad, amazing or terrible, just get it out there. Here's a big one. You're never going to appreciate your own work. Every time you see your stuff, and this is true, this is universal for all artists, they hate their own stuff. They're just like, ugh, could have done that better. Like, ugh, it's just totally terrible. You're never gonna really be objective to your own work and like it. Never. There's always something wrong with it. Now, other people could tell you, oh man, it was so amazing, it was perfect. And you're like, no, it wasn't. There was this part and there was this part. But that's actually very healthy, that you never appreciate your own work. Because that way you don't go on this like delusional egomania, and that leads to other things. Seek feedback on your stuff. You don't have to accept what they say. Sometimes crowds are wrong. Sometimes the audience is wrong. Like, I'm not gonna like Lifetime chick flicks. That's not my thing. And if you make me watch one, I'm gonna tell you it's gonna be terrible. But I'm not the market for it. Now, if you get people that are the market for it, they're gonna be like, hey, this was amazing, I want more. So just make sure you can differentiate your crowd. Your work is not gonna be for everyone, even though you want it to be. Just reflect on performance, try to be objective and assess yourself. This is what you should do with anything. Like, see your work, see what you can improve, and just improve it over time. Play around with stuff. Don't think, like, if you go on YouTube and you say like how to light things, how to edit things, how to do this, everyone's gonna sort of give you a general consensus of like, hey, you do this is the appropriate way to do things. Sometimes you want to break the rules, right? You don't want to always do what everyone else is doing. Now, there is a good reason that everyone does things that are consensus, but sometimes you got to like break out of the box and like do your own thing, and then you'll have like a very unique project. So because there's so much work involved, it's definitely a game of inches. You're trying to climb this insane mountain that never ends, just like the Sisyphus picture. So really, you want to track what you're doing by small, achievable tasks throughout the project. Like in my case, I'm making a feature film that has so many VFX, that has so many actors, that has so many locations. And when I think about that all at once, it's just like, what? Like it overwhelms me, and I'm just like, I go back to that slump of like, what the hell am I doing? Why am I doing this? But if you take it like little pieces at a time, over time, you'll be like, oh shit, I'm like halfway up the mountain now, and you're not realizing it. Okay, so if you really want to direct, and this is something, and I haven't scared you off, and this is something you really want to do, you need to answer these questions for yourself. And if you answer them yes, then do it. And the questions you want to ask yourself is, Nobody's going to watch my stuff. Can you accept that? Yes? Okay, you do it. And nobody's going to give you $1 for any of your projects. If you can accept these two things, then you do it. If you cannot, don't do it. Because otherwise it'll just kill you inside. Even think about it this way. Say you make a whole project and you show it to no one and bury it. Would you still make that project? If it's yes, then all right. You're a psychopath and this is the right game for you. And that's it for my discussion. My last slide says have fun suffering. And my social media is on there. I thank you all for coming in. And if you guys have any questions about anything, yes, sir, over here.
Yes, some of us who weren't involved with your film, could you let us know all the multiple roles you filled with your low budget and some of the positions that you could have hired to help you with certain things?
Positions I could have hired is limited by my budget, so that's out. Things I had to do was location manager, location scout, VFX supervisor, casting director, prop manager, scheduling. It's just everything. Everything. Yes.
Two-part question. What were the things before you started directing? What were the skills that you had going into it? Or part of that is what made you want to do it. And second, what were the easiest and most difficult skills to learn after you started?
Okay, that's a good question. I started with business, so the business aspect of the filmmaking I get already. I had a gym apparel and supplement business, and I didn't really think about making films. I didn't really, like, I love movies, and I would critique them in my head. I would be like, oh, if they just did this better, or if they moved this scene over here. But I never thought I would make my own films. But then it got to a point where like stories just started like bubbling in my head, and I'm just like, I gotta make this. And it was like giving me anxiety not making it. So I was sort of like strong-armed by the muse. She's like twisting my arm, like, you're gonna make art? And I'm like, all right, I guess I will. So then I just jumped into it. I'm like, all right, how does this work? And once I figured out how it worked, I'm just like, what the hell's wrong with you, Muse? I didn't ask for any of this. What was the second part?
The second part is what were the easiest and most difficult
Oh,
after you started?
so yeah, so that's going to depend on the person. Like me, I like management. I like working with people. I think I'm a good communicator, so I could kind of get things across pretty well. The difficulty really was just like all the very technical stuff, like VFX and all the lighting, like camera settings. I had no idea what, like all the shutter speeds. It's just the camera to me. My phone, pull it out. So all of that was just like stuff I didn't want to do, but would help me. But now I kind of like it because I understand it better, and it's going to make my films better. But like the paperwork stuff, like never gonna like that. Never gonna like that. Yes, sir.
Question. So you have a script for a short. What's the first thing you should do? You know nothing.
Script for a short. Oh, I didn't.
Yeah.
Yeah, I didn't even cover that.
I mean, yeah.
Yeah. You definitely want to start with short films, so you're on the right track.
Yeah.
But know that short films, there is no market. There is no money for short films. So it's definitely you should consider a short film professional practice, right? Some people want to jump straight to a feature film. Horrible mistake. If you're gonna mess up. You're definitely gonna mess up. You want to do it in the short film rather than the feature film.
Right.
Now, starting, you sort of want to systematically break down your script. So like how many actors, this is called line producing. How many actors, how many props, how many settings, and then you collect all of these and you aggregate them, and then now you have like a list, like, okay, it's going to be easier to read that way instead of like
Sure.
reading through the whole script over and over. So you have a list of assets that you need, and just slowly start thinking about where you can get them. So like, I don't know what kind of character you have in the script. So maybe you have someone in mind, like, oh, my friend, this guy, he could probably kind of do this. So you just literally, so you aggregate a list and fill it out.
How do you get other people, like, who do you take it to, for example? Where do you start if you know nothing and you have no network of people? What would you tell that person to do?
You have,
Get other people's eyes on it.
do you live here?
Yeah.
So so I'm in Houston. They have film mixers where like people that want to do film or are into film, they have like multiple things a month. I don't know how it is here. That's where I met a lot of my crew. Just hanging out and be like, hey, this is what I'm trying to do. What do you do? Like, oh, I'm editing. I'm like, okay, I already have an editor. But like, if anything, if I can do anything, just let me know. In terms, I don't know what's going on here. In terms of networking here, I don't know. Yeah.
Don't know how you,
No.
get the first story.
Hold on one second. But like worst, yeah, probably. Sometimes the market or like the network is not where you're at,
Right.
and you can't do anything about that.
Yeah, I didn't know if there was like any online portals or anything like that.
I mean, there might be, but like,
Mostly it's just person to person.
yeah, there definitely are, but I only know the ones in Houston.
Right.
And if you are getting an actor, and they don't live here, like, well, now you have to sort of compensate them in some way to come here and do your script, right? So now that's capital that's going to come out, and that over time will kill you.
Right.
Worst case scenario, man, just shoot the shit on your phone and just play with it.
Yeah.
Really, like,
You're also trying networking with the teachers at Victoria ISD.
yeah. A very good resource is the theater program of schools.
Okay.
Theater programs. If they have a film program, you could go talk to them, and generally they can give you. They will ask their students. Yeah. They'll be way more connected. So really, if you find like a gatekeeper,
Right.
that might open stuff up for locally.
And not to hog the whole conversation.
No, you're good.
But, what do you? How do you give someone to give you feedback on your first short story? Are there
Just-
out there? Or how do you know?
Uh,
Find somebody that can give you some really good, advice that understands.
oh, and like in the technical aspect,
Yeah, just look at it and say, here's where this is kind of falling apart, or whatever it might be. Just because,
you said for the script.
yeah,
Okay.
like a short, like someone who'd look over it and go,
Mm.
that would kind of know, scripts and shorts and everything.
There's definitely services online,
Okay,
but I mean you have to pay for those.
got it.
But I'll look at your thing. You have my email. Yeah,
Yeah,
just email me,
I appreciate it.
and I'll be like, trash.
Yeah, yeah.
Do something else. That answers everything.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
Thank
The sir.
So he was talking about short films, so that's something that's about 30 minutes, I'm guessing, or less.
Technically, a short film is under 45 minutes. Well, I guess I could kind of cover like strategies for short films.
Right.
You want to keep it under 15 minutes. That's like the golden time, and that's for film festivals.
Mine's 14.
It's perfect.
It's just like one line into 15 pages. I heard that one page is roughly a minute.
Yeah, that's a good
Kind of
average. Yeah, and if it's a lot of dialogue, it'll be shorter than that.
sure.
Yeah. The reason you want something that length is when film festivals schedule out the blocks like we had. Yeah. They would rather do like 4 15-minute shorts than like 1 30 and then 2 15s. Like if you're doing a long one, it has to be like amazing. But even then, like it's just 15, under 15 is just the golden.
And where do you usually get your ideas for shorts as opposed to like a feature film, which is a short version of it? I'm not.
Well-
I know more about like full length movies than I.
Yeah, so in my case specifically, my first short film was, I kept it very simple. It's just about relationships. It's called Social Depression. It's on YouTube. I'm not in it, and my goal was just to direct and not worry about anything else, to see if I could do it, to see how well I can do it. Okay, I did that. Okay, great. My second short film is called Demon. It just played at 10. Oh, you saw that one? Yeah. Thank you, sir. What was I saying?
Your second short film was.
My second short film was Demon. Oh, the goal with that one was like, all right, I know I can direct. Now I need to star in it because that's what I want to do long term. So star in it and direct it. And now I need to learn VFX. So I did basic VFX, which is not basic at all.
How much did you explode the budget?
So that one cost more than it should because I'm reusing everything for the feature. So that one cost me probably 15,000 total for a short film. That's ridiculous. You should never pay that much for a short film because you know you are not getting a return on that short film. But in my case, because like I already had the idea that I'm gonna reuse everything, so let's pump money into it because it's just gonna transfer over to the feature film. I forgot your question.
Probably like where do you get your idea? Where do you get your ideas?
Oh,
How do you inspiration?
just randomly, honestly. I read a lot of mythology. That's really hard to replicate. Sometimes I'll just be walking my dogs, and then just like an idea pops up, and I'm like, "Hey, that's actually pretty good." And immediately, you want to write that down immediately because you will forget it. I've done that so many times where I'm like, "Oh, that's good. No, I'll write that down later." I'm gonna keep walking, and then I get home, and I'm like, what was the thing? I had the thing. And I have old notes where I had good ideas and I'll reread them. I just did this last night. I was like, oh, hey, look, what's this? And I reread an old idea and I'm like, hey, that's great. I don't remember it at all, but I wrote it down. Just randomly, honestly, creativity for this stuff, you can't really extract it directly. It's just going to come somewhere. Yeah.
Because I have experience doing it with short stories, not so much with short, not so movies, but
It's the same thing. It's universal.
It's just the exact same
Yeah.
process.
Creativity in terms of how it runs, how it flows is universal. So
The medium that's expressed in.
yeah, it's just the medium and the skill set involved.
I've got a question about sound.
Mhm.
Sound seems to play a very big, important part of a film.
Yeah.
Is there anything you've learned about replicating sound so like dialogue is really clear to the person hearing it? It doesn't sound like a mumble. You know what I mean?
This is gonna be
Is that one of the hardest?
yeah.
Seems like it might be.
Sound is it's just like VFX is a huge barrier to entry. You need someone with the skill set like we.
Person guessing it's cheaper.
Huh?
Work on sound first. It's cheaper.
See, sorta, yeah. Because sound has multiple levels. You have music creation, you have sound mixing, and you have sound design. Sound design, generally, sound design and sound mixing, someone will do that together for you. But to do it correctly, you need all this equipment. So like you're like, oh, I'll just do my own sound mixing. Well, you need like a switchboard. You need like thousands of dollars of equipment to do it correctly.
Right.
So there's this giant barrier to getting good sound.
There's no software that does that all at once, or is it you actually?
No, it's all hardware based, yeah. Because a bad recording you can only fix it so much. So you need a good mic. Doesn't have to be the best mic. You definitely need a good mic. And then you need like all this equipment. So that you unless you're like a sound junkie and you've been doing that for a while, you will have to hire that out. Same thing with like VFX. Like unless you've been doing that for a while, you're gonna have to hire that out. Unless you don't mind it looks all clunky and cheesy and crappy. But also with sound, something I've realized is people will forgive a bad picture. Like if something's off and it just doesn't look perfect, whatever, people will accept that if the story's good. But the sound, if the sound is bad, people are like, nah, done. So sound is very important. Very important. Any more questions? That's probably it, huh? I know it's a lot of information. Just start something somewhere on your phone, with your dog, whatever. Just the more you play with it, the more you get familiar with it, the more you start like developing new ideas and knowing how to implement them. It's just consistency over time. It's like everything else. Like I started from zero and now I'm in the middle of a feature film. Then this was, it's kind of wow. About 10 years ago. So it just, yeah. So I guess we're out of time. So thank you all. You have my email. So if you want to email me about anything.
It's okay. I just send you a Dropbox.
Yeah.
Appreciate it.